Happy video day, guys. So for today's video, I wanted to do a chatty video because I was kind of like going through my makeup. I'm getting ready to do a declutter. Happy New Year. You know, it's that time of year you got to start like cleaning things out. You know, I really want to start doing a little bit more reviews on the channel and doing a lot more stuff. So I know a lot more makeup's going to start working its way in. So I'm trying to like, you know, declutter some of the older stuff. But while I was doing that, I started to notice that there was specific brands this year that I think that they hit home runs. Like, for being such a weird year, well, I guess by the time you see this, it's going to be last year. It's so weird to say when it's like 2 days into like the new year and you're like, last year, you know? But I guess last year was a very hard year for a lot of brands. 2020 was just, I can't imagine, like it must have been difficult for most brands, but there was some brands that stuck out. Like they really did something special in 2020 and they made a mark on me, almost like, hey, you know, like I have kind of changed my order of brands that I'm like super interested in because of 2020. Some of these brands really stuck out to me. They really gave some amazing products and I have them like really high on my list. Now that I want to get a little bit more into reviews, I kind of have specific brands that I kind of want to focus on. Like I really want to try more from them because I love the products that they released, at least some of them. So I'm going to be telling you guys about my top 5 brands for the year of 2020. These are the brands that stuck out to me. Like they literally did some amazing things in 2020 that I feel like I did not waste my money. I did a good job buying from these brands, so I want to share them with you guys. So if you're excited, hit subscribe, join the channel. Don't forget to do that because if not, you might not see me on your timeline anymore. And let's get into it. All right, so I am going to put this in order. I'm going to rank them. I'm going to rank them from bottom to top. But these are the best, so there really is no bottom. You know what I mean? So let's start off with number 5. So number 5 is actually one that I had a hard time because I was trying to think of who would be the 5th brand. The top 4, I was like gun-ho. I knew these brands were like the top. But the 5th one, I wasn't 100% sure. And then after I started like going through everything, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to give this to Makeup by Mario's line. Now, the reason is because I feel like most of the stuff I bought, I really liked. Now, I didn't purchase everything from his collection and like his holiday quads, I really was not excited for. But the products that I did get were pretty damn spectacular. His Master Mattes is a palette that I use a lot. I think it's beautiful shades of brown. I think he did an amazing job with just a neutral everyday palette that's just so easy to use. His eyeliner, the brown one, is very, very good. I use it anytime I need a brown liner. Now, I did know that his black one, some people were saying it kind of changes into blue. I'm not sure about that. I didn't buy the black one. But the brown one is beautiful. And finally, his lip palette, I love that thing. I love that thing. Now, I know that it's not for everybody. But what I have to say is, man, did he really do a good job in picking colors for that lip kit. There is sometimes that you buy these lip palettes and they have like all of these different colors in them. You're thinking, I got so many colors, yay. And then really like 90% of them, you're like, ew, I don't use them. This lip palette, every color is gorgeous. And if you wear them on their own, they're gorgeous. If you mix them together, they're amazing. I love that lip palette. It is spectacular, like amazing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it to him. I feel like a lot of the products I tried, I really, really liked. I feel like the brand seems to be a brand that was very well thought out. He tries to be very creative, which I think is a good thing, but also because it's for the everyday consumer, I think sometimes maybe holding back a little bit of the creativity and thinking of the people who are buying is going to be a little bit of a hurdle that he's going to have to figure out, because I do think some of the products are really cool for like a makeup artist and trying to get like that idea of makeup artistry into the everyday consumer. But if people start to think like, oh, this is gimmicky, or, you know, I'm never going to use this, they might miss out on a very good product because they think that, you know, it's just not for them. However, I have thought that a lot of his ideas have been so innovative and so cool. I feel like this is a brand to watch. Okay, so number 4, I'm going to give it to another newbie. So I'm going to give it to Rare Beauty. Now, I don't think everything that she came out with was like spectacular. I didn't think those holiday palettes looked interesting to me at all. But I'm gonna say launching a brand with an amazing foundation, because I love that serum foundation. I use it all the time. And having so many shades and having it so well thought out and having it accessible to people maybe that have arthritis and the shape of the bottles and everything the way it was thought out and having a good product, I think that that was pretty amazing. I feel like the foundation to me worked. The concealer I use on an everyday basis. I don't think it gives you the most coverage, but I do like the coverage a lot. That I grab for it a lot. I really do. I feel like for my under eyes, it doesn't get into creases and it looks really nice. So I really love the concealer as well. The lip soufflés were beautiful. Honestly, I love the formula. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I never really got to try the blushes well. The sample that I had, I didn't like. I know a lot of people liked it, but the sample I had, I didn't like. And I haven't really seen like everybody putting those in their favorites either. So I don't know if everybody really loved them like forever, you know? There was some like okays, but the hits were so good. Now, what I want to see from this brand is I hope that she stays true to like that natural beauty and really like brings that out a lot in the makeup and maybe goes in a route like Anastasia was back in the day, that everything was more effortless and very pretty makeup and easy to use, and I think that would be a beautiful direction. That's why when I saw the holiday palettes, I was like, oh, I don't see that as what I saw the first launch as. The first launch I saw a certain really pretty natural inner beauty line, and then when I saw the holiday palettes I was like, okay, now this is like peacocks, you know? What I'm hoping is the brand stays true to the original concept. I hope that it goes in a really good direction because the quality of those products were really good. And if you guys tried them, you would know that they're very good. That was a celebrity brand that I think did a very good job with creating a makeup line, and I'm hoping that it stays true to the original concept and doesn't just go into the hype of making makeup to make money, because then I think it might fall off of my radar. Then we move on to number 3. Number 3, I'm going to give this to Pat McGrath. Now, I did not buy every single release that Pat McGrath came out with this year, but I think that she had some pretty good releases. Like, people liked what she came out with. There was a few flops. I feel like she did roses a little bit too much throughout the year. Like, I think that she should not release another rose palette for maybe 10 years. I think she gave us a little bit too much gold and a little bit too repetitive. But at the end of the year, that Celestial Divinity, you know, I know that some Pat McGrath fans were not very happy with it because they already owned a Star Wars palettes and they had to pay a lot of money for them. I understand that. But for somebody who didn't have that, I thought it was a spectacular palette to have. Like, it was beautiful. What I think would be amazing is if Pat McGrath continued in the direction of the Celestial Divinity, giving us amazing formulas for lower price points, almost like Natasha Denona does, and just really is able to get a bigger audience. I still think that having the Mothership palettes at a very expensive price point is still okay because you're paying for a lot there, you know, you're paying for the packaging, the experience, and all that. But I feel like there should probably be only 2 Motherships per year, like those huge, very bulky packagings, and they should be like the luxurious of luxury palettes. And then throughout the year, if she released things like the Celestial Divinity and gave us like a $60-something price point, I think people would be a little bit more excited for the brand, the same way that when I saw the Celestial Divinity, I said, I hope that she's going in a direction like this because I really love her metallic formula. It's so beautiful. Some of her mattes I like more than others. I'm not like obsessed with her matte formula, but I love that metallic formula. Now, I really would hope that she would give us some of those celestial formulas, or what are they called? The Ultra Blitz, the Blitz formula inside of a smaller palette. I think that would be insanely amazing. But yeah, I'm hoping that that is a new, like maybe that was like a test run for her. But I would say I would like to see a little bit of an improvement on that packaging, just a tad, make it just a little bit more luxurious. If she had to cut down the amount of shades inside of the palette and maybe just up the packaging just a tad, I think I would be a little more happy. Kind of like, I feel like she needs to look at what Natasha Denona is doing. And I think that that would be pretty amazing. But like I said, she still should keep doing those Motherships because I think that those are stuff that people really wait for. I'm very interested to see where her brand goes. I'm hoping that this was like a sign of what's to come, and if it is, I think it could be really, really cool. I did receive a lipstick from her I wasn't very excited for, and it kind of had like this thing called a wax bloom on it, which they told me about when I called customer service. Wasn't really excited for that. I don't think that for the amount that you pay for a lipstick, you should get like some type of chemical reaction happening with your lipsticks. So there's parts of the brand that I'm like, but I'm very interested in the route of the eyeshadow palettes. Number 2 is a huge one for me, like ginormous, okay? I have always been a Charlotte Tilbury fan, but I didn't know how much I loved Charlotte Tilbury till this year. Guys, I think I'm obsessed with this brand, like obsessed. So many things that I have tried from Charlotte's brand, I have been like in love with, okay? I love that bronzer. Bronzer I have on today, bronzer I have on every single day. I will not touch another bronzer. And I'm being like super, super biased here. I'm obsessed with that bronzer. I think it's the best in the entire universe. I know I have some other good bronzers, but I just can't. It's so amazing. She killed it with that bronzer. Literally one of the best products of the entire year was that bronzer. So I literally think that that was just astronomically amazing. I love that product. It knocked her up on my totem pole of brands by like 5 million with that bronzer. Besides her bronzer, I was able to try a couple of her quads this year. Her quads were such amazing formulas. I love her larger palettes. I think they're so amazing. I love her lipsticks. Her lipsticks are my favorite lipsticks in the universe. I would so much rather pay the $34, $38, whatever they are, for the Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks that do not change colors and don't do nothing than a Pat McGrath one any day, because those lipsticks are not only in the most gorgeous, beautiful rose gold packaging I have ever seen in the universe, but they don't change. Like they are beautiful. They are beautiful for years, and I love those lipsticks. Charlotte Tilbury's formula is probably the only formula that I will buy it no matter what. Like I'm like, yes, I need you. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. It's amazing. I'm in love with it. And things that I want to see from this brand is I want to see from Charlotte, kind of with the Pat McGrath realm. I love her larger palettes that she likes to come out with, that she prices them a little bit lower and she gives it a lot of colors. I would like to see something like that, but maybe even condensed even more at a more affordable price point. And I feel like this year is going into a year of, you know, I don't know how certain people are for this year. So I feel like coming out with the very expensive stuff all the time is going to be a little bit more difficult. I would like to see the brand still having their luxury, but maybe condensing some of the stuff so it's not so much so that they have to charge a lot. I would like that. I don't know if that would happen. I know Charlotte's brand has had its luxurious, you know, staple for many years. I love the cheek to cheek blush. Oh my god, that blush is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, like I love that brand. Like literally, I wish that I could buy everything from Charlotte Tilbury. Her prices are a little bit on the high side for me. It kind of makes me go like to buy everything. But I have to say, when you buy something that's such good quality, you feel like the price tag is worth it. You know what I mean? So like I feel like Charlotte's products have not let me down, really. Some of them have. I'm not going to say she's perfect, because there has been some products that I have not loved from Charlotte Tilbury. I think every brand, there's been products I haven't loved. But this year, she, you know, I'm very interested in her, more than I have ever been, ever. The only thing I have to admit to you guys, I don't think I'll ever be 100% interested in are her quads, because I think they're very expensive for what you get. I love the formula, but I still think they're a little too pricey. Number one, guys, I mean, I'm so predictable. You guys know who number 1 is. I mean, come on, do I even have to say it? Natasha Denona. For being such a tough year this year, and I'm sure the industry suffered a lot, which I think we might actually see the effects of that going into 2021. So for being such a difficult year, she released amazing products. We've got to talk about the mini retro, the mini bloom, we had the glam palette, we had the mini Zendo trio chrome, which I wasn't like the biggest fan of, but at the same time it was a very cool palette. I feel like the whole year she released amazing things. And then at the end of the year, she released the lip liners, which you guys know I just finished doing my review on them, and those are amazing too. I have them on today with a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. I really love Natasha Denona. I think that she does such an amazing job with her products. One of the things that I feel like this brand excels in more and more and more is bringing down her price point but keeping her quality and really giving you an experience but getting more people to be able to try the brand, which I think is so spectacular. If you look at her glam palette and you look at the price tag, you look at how many shades you get, and you just look at the functionality and thinking like, yes, you're not getting the biggest pans, but like how many times do we pan makeup? Like really think about it. With eyeshadow palettes, I would rather have a little bit less eyeshadow, have more color selection, have great formula, have a packaging that stays together and doesn't break, and you know, be able to experience a very nice luxurious brand and not have like a killer price tag. Now I'm saying that based off the fact that her midi size palettes are $65. Now I know for some people that is still pricey, but in the luxury makeup world, it's really a nice price tag considering that her large palettes are like $200, you know? And I feel like this is an amazing size palette. She still comes out with like her $120 palettes, which in my opinion is still a little bit pricey. I think that the quality of what you get is really, really good, but I think that her route is the midi. Natasha Denona is also another brand that I would love to see like 2 large palettes throughout the year, and for the rest of the year little midis here and there and minis, and I think everybody would be happy with that. I don't love it when these more luxurious brands come out with the larger palettes too many times within the year, because I just don't feel like it gives it that moment to shine, and those expensive palettes need moments. Like they need time. They need people to be able to use them for a little bit so that they get excited to buy another one. But when you release things back to back to back, you lose that excitement. You're like, well, I just bought one, you know? I think if Natasha Denona continues in the route that she did last year, maybe 2 or 3 of her $127 palettes, and then maybe 4 midis throughout the year, and then every once in a while throwing in a mini palette, I think people would be okay with that. That might actually even be too much, I think, for this year. But besides that, her blush was beautiful. There was products I didn't like from her, and there's products that I would never buy from her, but a lot of the stuff that I picked up this year, I am so happy with. Like, I love the quality. The quality was there. I feel like I spent good money and the quality was there. Another thing is her shadows don't irritate my lids. A lot of her products sit really nice on my skin. They don't break me out. They don't have scents in them. So I love her brand. So I'm very, very excited, and yeah, that would be my top brand for the year. I really think that between the glam and the retro, she really killed it for me. And like I've told you guys, 2021 has to be the year of the large retro palette. It has to be, right? Like, hello, it has to be. I hope so. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down below who was your brand of the year, the brand that released the product for you that you think was like, yes, this is my brand. If you guys want me to do my bottom 5 brands for the year, I will totally do that for you. Let me know down below. If enough of you guys tell me that you want me to do it, I'll go ahead and film that. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk with you guys later. Bye.